Hello, everybody. This is Di, Antinatalist, and I'm just gonna ramble on today because I just had a concept, and with advanced years to my life, I have greater clarity, and I think anybody can reflect back on multiple decades, far past 40 years, and just, see the trauma inflicted from our being born and conceived and placed into existence. And it just seems like weekly or monthly or, every so often, I think everybody in the world can relate to this. We have a period where we just regret things. And there is, oh God, my nose. Sometimes at night, my nose is getting stopped up. And it's only one nostril. Anyway, I inherited that from good old Daddy Wayne. Oh boy, he used to call himself Daddy Wayne, and as if he was special. Yes, I had very, very narcissistic parents, and they were very much into concern and care for themselves and not for us kids. For anybody, it's just so laughable, for any father to create a name for himself as if he's just the epitome of dads around, and it's he's one of the worst. Same with mom, just one of the worst. But they thought differently. Yeah. But anyway, back to, just regretting and just, regretting things that come up ahead. I mean, you could have an appointment with somebody that you don't want to see, and that's kind of my issue right now. Well, I have two people that I don't want to see, but one could actually turn out to be a good thing, an interesting thing, but it's one of those initial attempts at something, and you don't know how it's going to turn out. And then the second person, oh God, I've worked with this person for many years now, and his personality traits are just absolutely eating me up. And I'm sure he's enjoying it because he is a very passive-aggressive, covert, narcissistic individual, full of ego and, full of defenses, full of excuses. He has every excuse known to man. Now, he can't attempt to communicate or to progress or to, initiate things and get a project done, but he sure can defend himself. Excuses are his forte. They're his middle name is excuses. And if anybody knows, the covert, deceptive, narcissist, passive-aggressive, the gaslighter, the liar, the deceiver, this is him. And every single meeting with this person is just, I just want to pull my hair out. And I am just, his personal deficits, being on the spectrum, being non-empathetic, being poker-faced, are just as much as I can take I mean, as a person who like feels everything and understands things and has clarity, and just being in this person's presence is just the most aggravating and tiring and depleting situation. And the project will be finished, and he'll move on, and hopefully I never have to interact with him again. Some people can relate to getting a bad diagnosis, or having to get a medical procedure, and or blood test, or a court date, maybe running a stop sign, rolling through the stop sign, or changing lanes, without, I don't know, without using a blinker, or whatever the case may be. But it seems like dread is always around the corner, and tests, applications. I mean, I really hate filling out forms and applications, and nowadays everything is online. And like the other day I had a puppy class to attend, and everything is done differently now. And just about a year ago, everything was done by personal one-on-one communication, by calling in, and now everything is done online, and I dread that. And so they had maybe 5 pages of questionnaires, and there's always something you miss, and then it flags it, and then you have to go back, and you can't move forward. You can't go to the next page unless you correct the blank that you didn't fill in. And going to the doctor, to medical facilities, the HIPAA rules are so extensive, and we have to fill out so many forms each and every time. Like the last time I went to the physical therapist, I had to fill out all these forms, and then they want to know, well, what are you coming in for? Like, they don't even just want like a verbal description of your aches or whatever. They want to know when it happened, how long it happened, when it started, what type of pain is it? Is it sharp? Is it dull? And just form filling out is just so tedious, and I just hate it. I mean, I hate it to the to the extent that I almost don't do things. It's like I just procrastinate, or just don't even involve myself with something that requires applications. And and it's the end of the year, and I have a dog that's titled, and she's a therapy dog, and they need extensive paperwork at this time of year. And then there's dog licenses that have to be filled out and sent in, and checks written, and I have to bring in my plants, because it'll be cold in about a month. It'll freeze some of the cactus and the tropicals. And so there's just so many things that I have to get prepared for. And I've been putting off a dental cleaning, and not for any reason. It's just the fact of making the appointment and showing up. And one time I actually forgot my appointment. It was kind of embarrassing, so I never called back. And it's like the older you get, the more you realize this is just going on and on and on and on and on and on, and it never ends. And I'm not speaking from a depressed state. I'm not speaking from an illogical state. I'm speaking totally from a realistic state. And the other day I was getting gas, and I have a hybrid car. And I still have not used the electric, part. I haven't used that yet, so I'm not acclimated to how to use it. And I don't know if the Whole Foods parking spot for electric cars is applicable to my particular car. And there's so many unfamiliar things these days, unfamiliar territory, and being online, things just change all the time. I mean, rules are changing. Rules are changing with Facebook and with YouTube, and the healthcare industry. Rules are constantly changing. Rules are constantly changing with masks. There's this one business, and I saw on her website that she said masks are required to enter. Now, we don't have a mask mandate anymore, except for some workers. Healthcare workers are all wearing masks. And I was at a coffee store, and the guys behind the counter were wearing masks. But there's always something. And what was that, Gilda Radner? She did a book, Gilda Radner. Yeah, I think the name of her book was "It's Always Something." Anyway, she died of ovarian cancer, I believe, and it'll always be something as long as you're in this world. It's never going to end. Cars need maintenance. Tire pressure has to be changed. If you're, winterizing your car, and inspections need to take place. And climate, seasonal changes really impact most of our lives. If you're in America, unless you're like, in Florida or California, you have 4 seasons. Yeah, I'm sleepy. It's like almost 4 in the morning. But there's just so much dread, and there's just so many things to not look forward to. And the things that you do look forward to can be sabotaged. Like, like the other day, I was going to go to a concert, and he was canceled. It was Gordon Lightfoot, and he canceled. But apparently he broke his hand, and it was rescheduled. But it really put a kink in my plans. And the other day, I had a dog obedience class, and the instructor was sick, and she had to cancel. But because of her canceling that, a series of events happened which complicated my life. And also, as a result, I missed an appointment. It was just like a clusterfuck of, when things don't go smoothly. Even her situation was unavoidable because she was sick. But I put something else into its place, making me late for another appointment, and I had to abandon it. And the poor guy, lost his time slot because of... So, there's just so many things in life that just are just dread, even though they're minimally dreadful. It's just, things are just going on and on and on. And, like, every day, every single day, we have to eat, we have to drink, we have to get up, and then go to bed and get, our just sleep. And we have to meet so many requirements. So many, you know, I guess legal requirements, uh, just to live, like, you know, like pay pay taxes, pay for insurance, um, you know, keep up your car registration, um, just maintenance and warranties, and you know, so there's just so much bullshit to life, and I'm here to tell you, you know, after 60 years, bullshit just accumulates, and I mean, it's unavoidable, all the bullshit, and bullshit compounds when you're older, and doctor visits are numerous, and um, it's just never ending, and you know, trips to the grocery store, they kind of suck. I um I eat out so much, so much, and I don't go to the grocery store that much, and I don't get deliveries, really. Just kind of eat what's on hand, or you know, like, I don't really eat properly, you know. Like, I might even just buy a pack of cookies at the pharmacy. um and like, the foods in my refrigerator are quite simple. Like, I love this flax milk. I love it so much. I could just drink it. And orange, I found a really good orange juice at Whole Foods. And it's not their fresh squeezed, because the fresh squeezed is never consistent. It's a bottle that's back, like, by the dairy containers. And I don't know why it's in this particular area, because it's not where all the organic drinks and the probiotics are. And it's not near the produce. It's kind of in the back, with, I think it's near the cream cheese, or the artificial cream cheeses. But it's the best orange juice that they have. And I could just drink orange juice by the gallon. But, yeah, I don't eat, like, proper meals and stuff. And I do a lot of snacking, which is probably really, really bad for teeth, because, you know, after you eat, you're supposed to brush your teeth and floss. And if you're constantly grazing, even if it's healthy foods, you are not properly cleaning the surface of your teeth. And I'm finding that brushing my teeth is just a chore that is regrettable. And, what else? I even forgot the original criteria for this video, but, I think it was things to dread, and, like, not look forward to, and I mean, there's just always segments of that in life, and there's always people that you don't want to meet. I mean, maybe you have, you know, a meeting with the boss, and it's kind of, you know, you're kind of anxious about that. And there's just so many things to dread, and yeah, bad weather's coming up ahead, and that means we've got to get the snow shovel out, got to get the salt bucket out, and prepare for, you know, snow and slush, and, you know, those typical, like, accidents that happen in the winter. I don't expect snow for maybe until late December, any significant snow, but you don't even have to focus on you know, negative things. They're just going to appear. And you can keep your positive, you know, positivity all you want. But thinking positive and being positive is not going to change the outcome of your life or any situation. I went into this one situation. Oh, this fellow, you know, that I really regret doing business with. And I had great hopes, and, you know, I didn't foresee his behavior and his attitude and his just absolute deception and his passive aggressive attitudes and behaviors, and just very, very difficult person to deal with. And people coddle this person. People, like, he almost has the poor me attitude, but he's no poor me at all. He's an instigator and a triggerer. He's just passive about it, very, very covert. And just dealing with him or texting him, or, I mean, he's probably the number one person that I just regret meeting in life, and crossing his path and working with him. And man, talking about it just kind of helps me vent and kind of release just all this just utter disgust I have for working with this person. And he does not emote. Like, when you ask him something or tell him something, he won't give you a reply. He almost just, he's like a dead fish. He's like a robot. He's a bump on a wall, bump on a log. He, almost to everything you tell him, his reply is, uh-huh, 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 like, okay, uh-huh. What does that mean? It's entirely frustrating. And, and everybody's got somebody in their life, whether it's a family, a coworker, a friend, a partner, business partner. I mean, everybody has somebody in their life that they don't like dealing with. And recently I was talking to Alex, and, he has a coworker who just doesn't even like the most minimal of small talk, and, not even just receptive to being courteous at work, not even to giving an answer to just a question, or, just politeness is not returned, nor is it, like, receptive. And, I mean, I think coworkers can really wreak havoc with somebody's life. I remember when I worked, an occasional coworker could be really, really unpleasant. But I had a lot of comfort with coworkers. In certain jobs, they were kind of fun. But when you have a personality like a very narcissistic, whether it's covert or overt, but I would say overt is definitely the most sneaky and insidious and wicked. And I cannot change this person that I'm involved with, dealing with, and kind of obligated to for a little bit longer. And I just wish I could just wipe him off of the face of the earth. Just, I wish I never confronted him, because I do not appreciate him in any fashion. Nothing he can do can impress me because of his stolid, robotic attitude and behavior. And I don't trust him. I have not trusted him for years now, and it's gotten to the point where, working on this project with this individual is just, it's everything that I can do to be present. And I even had to, like, walk out on an engagement recently, and I told him, I said, I just cannot stand to work with you. And, I briefly, we just connected briefly and met somewhere, and it was like at a business where I had to choose something and from this project we're working on. And he was so ill-equipped, and he was so unprepared as usual, and so non-communicative. I mean, it really is like being, it's just like talking to a rock when I talk to this person, or it's just like a person with like nothing. And he's intelligent. That's not a problem, and he's competent within his own field. But socially and personally, he is ill-equipped. He has major deficits. And I don't have deficits in his department, and I just cannot tolerate this anymore, and it's just such dread. And there's always something around the corner. So there's always a dread, and there's just always something that you don't want to do. I mean, even if it's like taking down the Christmas lights. Who wants to take down Christmas lights, like, in January when it's freezing and when there's snow and slush on the ground? Or, if you've got a virus and you're sick, but the Christmas lights have to come down. It makes you wonder, like, why even bother with the Christmas lights in the first place? I get really excited, for Halloween, and I do put up things for Halloween, and it's a good season to do things, but then there's also that, taking down period, and nobody likes to take down the Christmas tree and put away the ornaments, and, but yes, there is excitement for the season. There is for me. I don't dread the holidays. Some people, go into like a depressive mode, and the holidays kind of give me a lot to look forward to, and I love shopping, and I love to go out to the mall, and I love the seasonal foods, and the cookie walks, and the tree lightings, and all the music, the Christmas music, and the festivities. I love that, but I hate taking down the Christmas lights and disassembling the Christmas tree. So that's what life is all about. And, I have a lot of fun periodically in life, but I don't appreciate life. I would rather have been aborted or miscarried or not conceived, because there's just something around every corner.